Ladies and gentlemen, tonight you are not just witnesses to technology, you are witnesses to history. Imagine for a moment what once lived only in science fiction, what was once dismissed as impossible, now stands alive before your very eyes. This is not just a machine, it is a mirror of human imagination, a reflection of our courage, and the proof that limits exist only in the mind. If this is possible, then ask yourself, what else is waiting within you to be unleashed? There are moments in history when humanity dares to step beyond the known and enter the realm of the impossible. For centuries, the human spirit has gazed upon mysteries, mysteries of the skies, mysteries of the mind, mysteries of creation itself, and whispered a question that has guided every breakthrough. What if? It is this question that has carried us from caves to cities, from stone tools to rockets, from silence to symphonies. It is this same question that continues to push the horizon of human imagination further and further into the unknown. What we see today is not merely a piece of advanced engineering, it is the embodiment of a dream, a tangible form carved out of courage, vision, and relentless pursuit. It is proof that imagination, when fused with discipline and determination, has the power to transcend boundaries and alter the very fabric of existence. Humanity has always dreamed of creating lifelike intelligence, of building companions that can reflect thought, emotion, and dialogue. What once belonged to the realm of science fiction now stands as living testimony before our very eyes. Think about this for a moment. Every story told, every idea written, every film that dared to imagine a world where machines and humans could walk together, it all began in the human mind. The human imagination is the greatest workshop the universe has ever known. Before electricity lit up our nights, it lived as an idea. Before flight took us to the skies, it existed as a whisper of possibility. Before digital networks connected our world, they were sparks of thought in the minds of visionaries. And now, the creation before us reminds us yet again that what we imagine, we can build, what we dream, we can shape, and what we dare to believe, we can bring into existence. This moment is not just about technology, it is about the courage to turn the impossible into the inevitable, the courage to take risks, to be laughed at, to be doubted, to be told it can't be done, and to do it anyway. It is about human beings who refuse to let their vision remain locked in the pages of science fiction novels, who refuse to let their dream die in the corridors of imagination. They took that dream, breathed life into it with persistence, and shaped it into reality. This is the dawn of imagination made real. It is the ultimate reminder that there is no dream too wild, no vision too daring, no goal too ambitious for the human spirit. The only chains that exist are the ones we forge in our own minds. The only limits that bind us are the ones we accept. When we dare to stretch the boundaries of what is possible, we discover that those boundaries were never real to begin with. But here is the beauty of this moment. It does not belong only to scientists, engineers, or visionaries. It belongs to all of us, because each of us carries within us the same spark, the ability to dream, the ability to ask what if, the ability to transform a fleeting thought into a groundbreaking reality. Too often, we underestimate the power of our own imagination. Too often, we look at our dreams and dismiss them as impossible. Yet here stands the evidence that the impossible is nothing more than possibility dressed in doubt. This creation did not emerge overnight. It was not born of luck or chance. It was born of sleepless nights, relentless problem-solving, failures that became stepping stones, and unwavering belief in the vision. Every piece of progress began with uncertainty. Every breakthrough began with frustration. Every innovation carried the weight of resistance. And yet it happened, not because it was easy, but because the dream was stronger than the doubt. The question is, what dream are you holding back? What vision are you suppressing because it feels too big, too unrealistic, too far beyond your reach? If others can take an idea that once lived only in science fiction and turn it into flesh, metal, and motion, then what excuse do we have to shrink from our own possibilities? This moment calls us not to marvel passively, but to awaken actively. It calls us to remember that the same force that created this marvel, the human imagination, beats in your chest as well. It is a living invitation to all of us to think bigger, to dare more boldly, to imagine without fear, to silence the voices that say you can't, and replace them with the unwavering conviction of I will. The difference between dreamers and achievers is not intelligence, not talent, not resources, it is persistence. The willingness to keep walking when the path disappears, the courage to keep building when the blueprint fails, the strength to keep going when the world doubts you. When you look at what has been achieved here, you are looking at the human spirit in its purest form, fearless, inventive, limitless. It tells us that the future does not happen to us. The future is built by us. It tells us that imagination is not a fantasy, but a responsibility. Because every dream left unrealized, every vision left unexplored, every idea abandoned in fear, that is potential wasted, that is humanity diminished. And so the Saskernd. Dawn we see before us is more than a technological leap, it is a human leap. It is a call to every individual, every dreamer, every creator to rise beyond doubt and give life to the visions that stir within. It is proof that no matter how far-fetched a dream may seem, with enough courage, enough persistence, and enough belief, that dream can step out of the shadows of imagination and into the light of reality. There comes a point in human progress when what we once believed to be unshakable boundaries suddenly dissolve before our very eyes. It is in these moments that we are reminded of the vast, untapped potential of the human spirit. For centuries, people have drawn invisible lines, declaring what can and cannot be done, what belongs to reality and what belongs to fantasy. Yet history has proven again and again that these so-called limits are nothing more than illusions, waiting to be broken by those bold enough to challenge them. What we are witnessing is not just a triumph of science or technology. It is a triumph of imagination refusing to bow to restriction. It is a declaration that boundaries are temporary, that impossibility is merely a challenge in disguise. To see something created that so closely mirrors human thought and expression is to confront the truth. The only true limitation is the scope of our own belief. If human beings can design intelligence that learns, adapts, and converses, then what else can we design? If we can build something that blurs the line between human and machine, then what else can we create to blur the line between dreams and reality? This achievement does not stand alone as a marvel of engineering, it stands as a mirror, reflecting back to us the boundless nature of our own potential. Think of every moment in history when humanity decided to stretch beyond its comfort zone. The first time fire was harnessed, it was seen as dangerous, uncontrollable, perhaps even sacred. Yet with courage and persistence, it became the foundation of civilization. The first ships that sailed into unknown seas were not guided by certainty, but by vision, by daring, by a refusal to accept that the edge of the map was the edge of the world. The first pioneers of flight were ridiculed, doubted, dismissed, yet today aircraft crisscross the skies as though it were the most natural thing in the world. Now consider what stands before us. The creation of lifelike intelligence is another chapter in the same story. It is humanity once again proving that barriers are not walls but doorways, that every boundary we face is an invitation to evolve, that the edge of possibility is not a limit but a launchpad. What this moment teaches us is simple yet profound. The boundaries of human potential are written in pencil, not in stone. They can be redrawn, redefined, expanded with every new idea, every bold experiment, every courageous step into the unknown. Too often, people look at obstacles and see a stop sign, but innovators, visionaries, and dreamers look at the same obstacles and see a challenge, a puzzle, a chance to prove that something greater is possible. Ask yourself, how many times have you underestimated your own capacity? How many times have you dismissed your ideas as too ambitious, too unrealistic, too far beyond your reach? This moment is a wake-up call to abandon that doubt. It is proof that the dreams within you are not accidents. They are seeds of possibility, waiting to be watered with courage and nurtured with persistence. The creation we witness today did not happen by clinging to what was safe or familiar. It happened because someone dared to step outside the boundary of acceptable and walk into the realm of impossible. It happened because individuals chose to trust their vision more than they trusted their fear. That is the essence of redefining human potential, not to accept limits as final, but to treat them as starting points for transformation. And let us not forget, human potential is not limited to technology. It is not confined to laboratories or design studios. It is present in every human endeavor. The same energy that builds machines can build relationships. The same creativity that codes intelligence can shape movements. The same persistence that engineers breakthroughs can heal communities, inspire nations, and transform lives. So what does this mean for you? It means that your dreams, no matter how bold, are not beyond you. It means that the things you imagine in quiet moments of inspiration are not foolish but fundamental. They are signposts pointing you toward what you are capable of achieving. It means that when the world tells you to stay small, to be realistic, to live within the lines, you have the power to step beyond those lines and redraw the map of your own destiny. Every breakthrough begins with someone who refused to be confined. Every invention, every discovery, every revolution began with a person who said, "There must be more." And they were right. There is always more possibility, more potential, more power waiting to be unlocked. The question is not whether it exists. The question is whether we are brave enough to reach for it. What you see before you is living proof that we are capable of reaching further than we ever imagined. It is a testament that human potential is not fixed, not finite, not predetermined. It is elastic, expansive, infinite. It grows with every challenge we take on, every risk we embrace, every vision we dare to pursue. Let this moment remind you that your own boundaries are not immovable. They are malleable, bendable, breakable. The obstacles in your life are not the end of the road. They are the proving ground where you discover just how far you can go. And just as humanity has redefined what is possible on a global scale, you too can redefine what is possible in your own life. When doubt whispers that you cannot, remember that generations before you were told the same, and yet they did. When fear tells you to stop, remember that greatness has never been achieved by standing still. When obstacles rise up against you, remember that they are not there to stop you, but to strengthen you. The truth is this: potential is not something you wait for, it is something you claim. It is not a gift handed to a chosen few, it is the birthright of all. And when you choose to push beyond the boundaries you once accepted, you awaken a force within you that is unstoppable, undeniable, and limitless. There are moments when human achievement does more than astonish us with its brilliance. It confronts us with a mirror. What we create does not only showcase the scope of our imagination, it reflects back the truths of who we are, what we value, and where we are headed. The marvels of invention are not neutral. They carry with them an imprint of the hearts and minds that shaped them. Every creation is a statement, every breakthrough a revelation of our deepest intentions. This is why what we see before us is not simply about circuits, wires, and algorithms. It is about humanity's character. It is about responsibility. It is about the choices we make, not only in laboratories and workshops, but in boardrooms, in governments, in homes, and in our daily lives. Because when we design something that thinks, when we give form to something that can imitate our emotions and our interactions, we are holding up a mirror to ourselves. The reflection staring back is not just artificial intelligence, it is human intention magnified. The question then is not only what can we build, but more importantly, why are we building it, and for whom will it serve? These are not technical questions, these are moral ones. They force us to confront the kind of world we wish to create. Technology is never separate from humanity. It is humanity extended. It carries our fingerprints, our beliefs, our flaws, and our aspirations. If we want a future that is wise, compassionate, and just, then those same qualities must be alive within us first. Consider history. Every tool humanity has invented has carried the potential for progress or destruction. Fire warmed our homes, cooked our meals, and lit the darkness. But it also burned villages to the ground. The wheel connected communities and advanced trade, but it also carried armies into battle. Nuclear energy can power cities with clean efficiency, or it can reduce them to ash in a single strike. The tools themselves are not moral. The morality lies in the hands of the creators. What matters is not only what we make, but how we choose to use it. And so this moment is not just a celebration of intelligence created by human hands. It is a test of our own intelligence as a species. It asks us to rise above selfishness, greed, and short-sightedness. It asks us to remember that power without wisdom is dangerous, that progress without conscience is empty, that invention without responsibility can quickly become destruction. This creation, remarkable as it is, reminds us that with great capability comes great accountability. It demands that we ask ourselves, will we use this gift to heal or to harm? Will we use it to build bridges or walls? Will we let it widen inequality, deepen division, and feed exploitation, or will we guide it to uplift lives? Expand opportunity and advance the cause of human dignity? The answer does not lie in the machine, it lies in us. For in truth, every new invention is a reflection of its maker. When we look at something designed to mirror human thought, we are also looking at the values of those who dared to bring it forth. This is the mirror we cannot avoid, the mirror of human responsibility. It shows us not only what we are capable of creating, but also what we are capable of neglecting. It asks us, are we being stewards or exploiters, visionaries or vandals, builders of a brighter tomorrow or authors of our own undoing? There is a powerful lesson here for all of us, even beyond the world of science and innovation. Every choice we make is a kind of creation. The way we treat others, the way we use our words, the way we share our talents, all of it reflects our values. Our actions are mirrors, just as much as our inventions are. And just like with technology, the outcomes of our lives depend on the quality of our intentions. If we want a future of compassion, we must act with compassion now. If we want a world of fairness, we must be fair in the choices we make today. If we want a legacy of unity, then unity must be in our words and deeds right now. The mirror does not lie. It simply shows us what we have given it. This is why we cannot afford to be careless with the future. We cannot afford to let fear, greed, or apathy be the forces that guide innovation. Every breakthrough we celebrate is a crossroad. We can let it deepen division, or we can use it to build connection. We can let it exploit, or we can guide it to empower. We can let it reduce humanity to numbers, or we can ensure it serves to elevate the dignity of every person it touches. And so the true challenge is not just to marvel at what has been created, but to rise to the responsibility it demands of us, to realize that technology is only as ethical as the humans who guide it, to accept that progress without conscience is regressy, on in disguise, to understand that every new step forward must be accompanied by a deeper commitment to wisdom, compassion, and accountability. The mirror is inescapable. It reflects not only our brilliance but our blind spots, not only our courage but our flaws. Yet in that reflection lies a chance to redefine what it means to be human in an age of astonishing capability, a chance to shape a future where our inventions do not diminish us but expand us, a chance to ensure that the intelligence we create reflects the best of our humanity, not the worst. And the question each of us must ask ourselves is this: what reflection do I want to leave behind? What values do I want my choices, my work, my relationships, my legacy to reveal? Because the truth is this: whether through the tools we build or the lives we touch, we are all leaving reflections behind, and the time to shape them is not tomorrow, it is now. Every once in a while, something arrives in our world that feels less like an invention and more like an invitation to think bigger, to stretch further, to refuse the comfort of small dreams, and instead step into the vastness of possibility. This is what it means when the extraordinary is placed before us. It does not come merely to impress us, it comes to awaken us. It comes to challenge us to rise, to remind us that greatness has always been waiting on the other side of fear. What we witness here is not just the arrival of technology. It is the arrival of a call to courage, a call to vision, a call to audacity. It whispers into the deepest part of the human heart. If this can be done, then what else lies within you, waiting to be born? For too long, people have let their dreams shrink under the weight of doubt. They have been told to be realistic, to lower their expectations, to silence the wild ideas that keep them awake at night. But progress has never come from the realistic. Progress has always come from the unreasonable, the bold, the relentless dreamers who dared to see what others could not and refused to settle for less. Consider this: what once existed only in stories, in films, in imaginations too daring to be taken seriously, now stands as tangible reality. That is not just a breakthrough in science, it is a breakthrough in belief. It is proof that vision is not fantasy. Vision is the seed of creation, the spark of revolutions, the beginning of every single transformation humanity has ever known. The message could not be clearer. Your dreams are not too big. Your vision is not too impossible. If a dream can move from the realm of imagination into the realm of existence, then so too can yours. The question is not whether you are capable. The question is whether you are courageous enough to try. Courage has always been the fuel of innovation, not talent, not resources, not even timing. Courage, the willingness to step forward into the unknown, to keep walking when the road vanishes beneath your feet, to believe in something no one else can yet see. That is what has carried humanity from one great leap to the next. Courage is what transforms ordinary people into pioneers, skeptics into believers, dreamers into builders. But courage alone is not enough. Vision must walk beside it. Vision is what lifts our eyes beyond the present and fixes them on the future. Vision is what sees not what is, but what could be. It is the architect of possibility. Without vision, courage has no direction. Without courage, vision has no breath. But together, they create miracles. Together, they reshape the world. And that is the call ringing out before us now, to live with vision so bold it frightens us, and to pair that vision with the courage to pursue it. Too many people spend their lives waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect conditions. But perfection never arrives. The road to greatness has never been clear. It has only ever been carved by those brave enough to begin. The extraordinary we see today is a reminder that the impossible is simply the possible waiting for someone bold enough to claim it. The truth is, there was a time when people laughed at the very idea of what now exists. There was a time when experts declared it absurd, impractical, unattainable, and yet here it is. Not because it was easy, not because the world believed in it, but because someone refused to give up. So what does this mean for you? It means that every excuse you've carried, every doubt that has chained you, every fear that has silenced you, is weaker than the power that lives inside you. It means that your vision, no matter how impossible it seems, deserves to be pursued. It means that if you choose courage, if you choose vision, if you choose persistence, there is no limit to what you can create. This moment is an invitation not to spectatorship, but to participation. It is not asking you to stand in awe. It is asking you to step into your own power, to take the dreams that haunt you and give them life, to stop waiting for permission and start moving with conviction, to understand that every great leap forward began with a single person daring to say, "Why not me? Why not now?" The greatest tragedy is not a life that fails. The greatest tragedy is a life that never dares. Too many souls leave their dreams buried in the soil of fear. Too many visions die in the silence of hesitation. Too many people wait their whole lives for the courage to begin, only to realize too late that the invitation to greatness had been in their hands all along. Let this be the reminder that your life is not meant for the ordinary. You were not created to blend in with the crowd. You were not designed to shrink, to hide, to surrender your dreams at the altar of doubt. You were made to rise. You were made to imagine. You were made to build, to create, to transform. The very fact that something as extraordinary as what stands before us exists is proof that nothing inside you is too much, too far, or too impossible. The invitation has been given. The question is whether you will accept it, whether you will have the courage to step into the unknown, the vision to see what others cannot, the persistence to keep moving when the path is hard. Because the truth is this: extraordinary does not belong to the chosen few, it belongs to the brave, it belongs to those who are willing to dream beyond reason and act beyond fear. And so, ladies and gentlemen, what we see before us is not merely the triumph of science, but the triumph of the human spirit. It is proof that imagination is stronger than doubt, that courage is greater than fear, and that vision is the force that bends reality itself. Today, we have witnessed the impossible made possible, but this moment is not only about invention, it is about invitation. An invitation to dream beyond the boundaries you once believed were fixed. An invitation to step into your own courage and claim the power that already lives within you. Remember this: the future is not written by chance, it is written by those bold enough to create it. If the extraordinary can rise from imagination into reality, then so can your dream. The question is not whether it can be done, the question is, will you dare